JJ, at halftime, you're down by 14. I think it's either 36 or 37 points at home 2 in the second half, and it looked like you're putting 2 on the ball.
36.
36, thank you. 17 plus 17. What was the main difference, and how did you feel like that more attention on Murray has changed things?
Well, it took him out of his rhythm. By the time he had taken a shot in the second half, it was well into the fourth quarter. So that's the first thing. I mean, it's just literally let's get the ball out of his hands. And I think when the game started, we were trying to mix in some zone, and they started 9 of 11 from 3, and they hit some off the dribble ones, and Spencer Jones hits 3 threes, and we're aware he's more than capable as a shooter. Came in tonight shooting 38% from 3, so that was not like a surprise that he could make a 3. We were dialed on our personnel. Peyton Watson hit a step back 3 from the court, so it was a little defeating to the zone, and the man frankly was worse than the zone, and so we picked a little bit up defensively in the second quarter. And then that last minute stretch just absolutely killed us. We had cut the lead, I think, to 6, and they scored, I think it was the last 8 in the Murray thing, and all of a sudden you're down at halftime 14. But I thought our guys' commitment to the adjustment at halftime was great, and then the commitment to the work that's required when you do put two on the ball. And look, this is my staff and I, our analytics team, this is all we're doing right now. We're trying to figure out what's the best way for this team with this group to play defense. And, we've throughout the year made adjustments in game. We're going to have to get a little weird sometimes.
On the other end, I should say the other end, just with Luka, he has 13 or 14 rebounds, but he and LeBron just getting you good shots. What did you see there? Not that it's not the ordinary.
Yeah. Those guys, just their patience, I think, has been great all season. And, whether that was Luka in the middle of the floor making plays, I thought his pace in early offense and his pace in the half court just to get paint touches and then get some of his assists that way. And then obviously LeBron playing out of the post has been so good for us recently with his passing. Those guys just they both played a great game, and I think too, like for them, in the second half, there's a lot that's required when you go to rotations, when you put 2 on the ball and you go to rotations, and those guys exerted themselves. I thought Smart was awesome defensively all night, came up with a huge charge. Vando was great, like he always does, had some huge contested rebounds in the fourth quarter. Jaxson, coming in at halftime and having to start the second half and go, quite frankly, way past his minutes restriction to help get us the win was great. So just contributions from everybody. Drew, again, was great tonight in his minutes. It was a great team win.
JJ, a couple for you. How's DeAndre, and what happened with DeAndre?
He got poked in the eye. He's got you'll see. He looks like a pirate. I'm not trying to but he looks like a pirate. Yeah, his eyes. It's not in good shape. So, but we're hopeful that it's at the bare minimum just a poke in the eye, and he'll be fine tomorrow.
The Luka and LeBron at times this year have had like really individual performances and have been able to do kind of stuff for themselves. Did you see them, particularly in the second half, like start to really elevate others around them, and how much of an added dimension is that when they're able to not just to trust their teammates, I guess.
Yeah, we that's becoming a trend. I think. Those guys obviously garner a lot of attention from opposing defenses, and we prepare these guys in the morning and pregame for the changing defenses. Teams are going to change defensive coverages against those guys. They started in a shock versus Luka. They went to Reds. They redded Murray and Hardaway onto the ball. Then they were in a blitz with the smalls, and we were able to get some 4-on-3s out of that. They were playing straight up in the post. They were greening that's typically how the game goes, and those guys are so smart, and they're able to adjust in real time and read the defense. And I thought, again, I think Smart down the stretch, hit some big shots. Rui, had some great looks out of that, and that's the process that we always talk about as a team. Like, it's not necessarily about making the shot; it's about following the right process. And Rui got some great looks.
Is that trust two ways? Like, particularly with like the vertical plays, like it seems like the strategy in some parts is right. Is like these like amazing first quarters to draw all this attention.
Yeah, he likes to get off to a good start. I think that's part of his DNA. And our guys, I think for the most part, have gotten used to that. It's look, you when you start a game and you play 7 minutes and you don't take a shot, like that's, I don't care who you are. You could be the most non-offensive player in the world. You're still thinking, I'd like to get a shot. So there's the balance that we always are trying to find. But I've talked about this before, but like with Luka, you can't like turn the engine halfway with him. Like, once the engine's on, like, he's in kill mode, and it's on me as a coach to make sure that everybody else is involved, and it's on him on the court to make sure that. And truthfully, I think he's done a phenomenal job of that the last couple of weeks.
I asked you about bench going at the beginning of the season, and you basically saying, like, we're not going to ask anybody to do anything other than their role. Maybe not necessarily designated as a scorer. You scored 32 tonight, and obviously Rui was kind of the offensive engine there, took the most amount of shots, tied for the most amount of points. I understand his role coming off the bench has been about the minutes restriction he's been on coming back from the calf, but how much consideration has there been to him potentially filling a role as this thing moves forward that you might not necessarily have had night to night with a score off the bench?
Yeah, I mean it's been good in those minutes. I think it's similar to training camp and similar to the first probably 6 weeks of the season. We were kind of looking ahead to when LeBron would be back and we could get a look, and then we got 85 minutes out of that lineup. So we're always discussing things and looking at that. Yeah.
So 25-7 fast break tonight. That's kind of what stood out to me. The fact that y'all were able to play fast and be efficient in that, but also get back on defense. Like, what did you see from that, especially from Luka? I just felt like he was playing really decisive, really fast after a while in that game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pace I was talking about in the early offense with Luka. He's done that a little bit more recently. Tonight wasn't the first time that he's really gotten an outlet pass or gotten a defensive rebound and really pushed the pace. I think our guys in general are doing a better job of running. And then LeBron is a one-man fast break. If he's kind of crossing over, he likes to run down that, we call it the Mack truck lane. And when we get him the ball in the middle of the floor with a head of steam, a lot of good things happen.
How much do you like just having Luka off the ball, come off screens, either to get threes or to get to his floater? Basically, getting him in spots where he doesn't need a on-ball screen or to play ISO to get to where he needs to get to.
Yeah, we've consistently increased the sort of looks on that. Doesn't always show up in second spectrum because it's direct versus indirect, but it's something that he wants. I think it was one of the games in Utah. It was one of our highest volume off-ball games up to that point in the season, and we talked after the game. He said, "I like all that stuff," and so we've been running a lot of that lately, and it's been really good.
Thank you. So we know DeAndre got hit in the eye and wasn't able to come out in the second half. What was kind of the key for you, especially on the defensive end, and as you guys hold him to 36 points in the second half?
Just stepping it up and making sure I'm that rim protection the team needs. Just doing whatever everyone needs me to do.
Jaxson, obviously Luka goes another triple-double with him. JJ was just saying sometimes just like gets in a kind of like that killer mode. What does that look like to you when he's in that kind of mindset?
Looks like the person with the most All-Star votes. When he gets locked in like that, which is most of the time, and when he gets in that killer mode, ain't nobody really stopping him.
You were talking earlier this year about how the way last season ended, you were kind of entering with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. Just what has this first half of the season felt like for you to get a little bit more playing time, to be counted on for this team in difficult moments, like tonight when DeAndre goes out?
was just staying locked in, and I just let my preparation do the work for me, and just, I'm just blessed God gives me the opportunity to come out here and play every day, so I just do my job, and that's it.
Was there something specific that you worked on in terms of defensive technique?
Not fouling as much, just working on my verticality and just being in the right position, and that's really about it.
You guys start this road trip. It's obviously a long one. What's kind of like the mindset to kind of carry you guys through during this season, or this part of the season that's obviously going to be great?
Yeah. Normally whenever you go on like a long road trip like this, you just got to stay connected with your guys, and just everyone has to stay locked in on the business at hand, and we just can't be out here getting homesick and stuff. So just really just locking in, and yeah.
Well, you get to go.
Oh yeah, a little bit. I get to go home tonight, technically, to be fair. So.
Speaking to the connectedness, I think JJ was saying that like whether you're winning or you're losing, you have to still be connected. You still have to like root for your teammates and stuff, and it's easier to do that when you guys are winning.
Yeah.
But during this kind of stretch, when it gets hard, you're playing a lot of games. How do you guys still keep that energy up no matter what?
It's all part of the job. That's why we get paid millions of dollars. We got to come to work every day, same as everyone else, and just got to try to perform at our best and just keep the best energy possible and control what we can control. And half of that's our energy and our attitude every day. And so I feel like for us guys, that's like the biggest thing is just keeping our attitude up and like identifying ourselves as a team and just getting that team identity going.
How do you feel like you guys have been doing that?
Solid so far. Obviously, a lot of things we need to work on. Tonight was a good night, but look at like a few games ago, we had like a bad night. So it's just consistency and just keeping up that stuff.
Defensively, what was the big switch?
I think we turned up our aggression a little bit. They shot the hell out of the ball to start that first quarter. I think they had 6 or 7 threes first quarter. They 9 for 11. It was like, man, they was knocking down threes at an alarming rate. Off the dribble, off the catch and shoot. I thought in the second half we turned up our pressure, ran them off the line a couple times, put a little bit more pressure, put a couple more bodies in front of Jamal, try to slow him down. We know the streak that he's been on. And it worked to our favor.
You guys had about as bad of a final 90 seconds.
Oh my God!
As it can happen.
Yeah.
Starting a road trip with like that.
Yeah.
When JJ talks about repertoire, how can the second half be one for what you guys want to be moving forward?
Yeah, we know what we're capable of, and I just thought the guys that that was on the floor. I thought we got great minutes from Drew, great minutes from Jax. Our bench came in was amazing. And when DA went down, Jax came in that second half and gave us a big push. And then down the stretch, Marcus gave us some big plays down the stretch. And defensively, we were all just flying around. So it's a good start to an 8-game road trip for us.
Every part of the season is important in its own way, but this juncture, the 8-game trip, what does it mean for this group to kind of get some footing?
Yeah, to start it off, we don't have a choice. Obviously, we're coming off one of the most gruesome, gauntlet of scheduling, playing at 5 and 7. So that was tough for us. And, tonight was, 6 and 9. But, like you said, the first game of a road trip, of an 8-game road trip, it was good to get off to a good start and hopefully continue on Thursday.
All-star starters were announced yesterday. It's the first time in a long time that we didn't hear your name among the starters. Did you have a reaction to that?
No, not at all.
Would you like to be part of the All-Star game this year if the coaches vote you in?
I'm always grateful. For sure. If I'm there, I'll be there in attendance. If I'm not, I know I'll be able to take full advantage of it. I know exactly what I'll be doing, so I'm good either way.
Over the weekend, you posted Isaiah 41:10. Like, what did that speak to you in that moment?
Who?
Isaiah 41:10.
Well, when in Portland, Ball Boy gave it to me after the game. Yeah, he said Jesus loves you. Obviously, he does. I thought that was a great quote. When I looked at it, I read it, and it just spoke to me. So I posted it because the guy was grateful enough and gracious enough to give it to me, and also just reading it, it's good to know that the people that's laid down and the word is being so great. So that was just a pretty cool moment for me, and just to have that insight right there.
Looked like you had a brief moment to go over and say hi to Jokic. Is there like a certain level of respect between champions and MVPs, all the playoff battles, all that?
Most respect. Yeah. For the greats of the game, for the greats of today, for me, for the greats of the past, for the greats that come after. Jokic is one of greatest players to ever play this game. And, for me to see him go over and just pay my respect, that's easy. That's easy.
You've played thousands of games probably combined between international and NBA. That Serbia semifinal game, like, you rank it?
It's one of the greatest games I ever played in. It's one of the greatest games I ever played in. I played in a lot of great games, NBA Finals games, Olympic games, high school games, regular season games. That ranks right up there with one of the greatest games I ever played in. And it's something I would never forget that moment.
When you think about, like, player greatness and stuff like that, how important is it for a great player to make others better? And I think, what kind of trust and persistence does that require?
I don't know. I can't speak for other great players. I mean, we've had a lot of great players that play this game. So many. I can speak for me, and I know that, being a triple threat on the floor, breathing, and giving confidence to my teammates is something I've always wanted to do, something I've always wanted to give. I believe that, if I can instill confidence in my teammates, then it's only going to help my job a lot easier. And they're going to want to, do so many things for you out on the floor. So I'm only one guy on the floor. You win games by a team. You win championships as a team. You do things as a team. And I've always, me personally, as a leader, as someone that, sees so many eyes and drives so much attention throughout my career, I've always tried to instill, confidence in my teammates. That's always how I've been throughout my whole, not even, even as a pro, just when I ever started playing basketball.
So I can lead.
No, it's fine. I'll bet lead off. Luka, what did you think of the defensive energy in the second half, and how important was the togetherness on that side of the floor to kind of execute the game plan you guys wanted to?
It was awesome. What did they score? 36, something like that. Second half, something like that, I think. Yep. So no, it was awesome. For against Toronto, the zone worked for us. We tried the first half to play some zone here, but it didn't work out. So we stick to other plan, and just to change the plan in the middle of the game, and stick to it was very impressive by us.
Look at it. So, the points and assists can stand out, but you had 13 defensive rebounds. I know Hayden didn't play in the second half, but was there anything that you noticed about during those possessions and any kind of extra effort to make sure that you were involved there?
Yeah, just trying to get more rebounds. Obviously I'm a guard, but lately I haven't been having a lot of rebounds. So if I get some more rebounds, that helps my team. So just wanted to get some rebounds more.
What kind of lift did you guys get in the fourth quarter from Marcus, and I guess really the second half, where once they started to blitz on you a little bit more, it seemed like he was an outlet?
Yeah, no, he was great. He was playing great. Obviously, we know he's always locked on in defense, but the way he performed in that fourth quarter, hit some big shots, hit 2 big threes, then got fouled on the 3. That was basically winning the game for us.
Look, JJ was saying after the game that there's been collaboration between you and him about getting you the ball in different spots so you can be decisive, get downhill, off-screen threes, things like that. What's that been like, and what do you feel like tonight in particular to get to your spots off the ball?
We've been working on that. Obviously, don't have to handle a lot of times. Gets me a breather too. So I think just all ball, it's been going better and better.
JJ was talking about how important it is for the team to be connected, whether you're winning or you're losing, you're playing bad, you're playing good. For you as the leader on this team, how do you need to kind of set that tone of making sure you're staying connected, no matter how it actually looks basketball-wise?
I think just keeping everybody together. I think we can easily go away after they scored 9 threes in 8 minutes. It was a tough stretch for us, but we kept together. Just keep the energy high and keep everybody together.
Luka, there was another kind of one of those stay together moments at the end of the first half. I think they scored 8 points in 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yeah.
With the technical foul. What was how did you see your group kind of maintain poise through that? And was that another one of those moments where you felt like maybe, even a week ago, maybe you guys break?
Yeah, it definitely was a big moment for us, and it showed the character of our team. Especially then, it was a terrible end of half for us, and we just stayed together. We talk about it in the locker room, and we stay together.
This stretch, 8 in a row on the road, coming off the struggles that you've had, and on the back end, the trade deadline looming. Just can you speak to the importance of trying to find some more consistency and obviously what this means to have the good first step forward?
You talk about this road trip coming on. I mean, it's definitely important. Like I say, I've never been a part of a road trip that's 8 games, but it's definitely very important to get the first one. It's never easy to play here, so and the way we stayed together the whole game, it was impressive, and I think that builds us up.
I think it's 2 straight games for you with Tech, up to 13 on the season. Obviously, 16 is the suspension mark. Is that something where you start to change the way you interact with referees when you near that mark?
I mean, I'll try to get back that one back, because the only thing I said, I got hit in the arm twice, and I shouldn't get attacked for that. So, but yeah.
Marcus, there was that really rough finish to the first half where they scored 8 points in about 50 seconds, and you go down 14. How did you come out with kind of a collective mindset defensively in that third quarter to switch the game?
We just stayed collective together. The coaching staff did a really good job of putting together a game plan for us, and we just stuck with it. Shots started to fall for us late, and we just stayed the course, and that was big because, especially here in this place, they're going to run like that, it can get real ugly for you.
I haven't done a ton of blitzing this year, but obviously, Murray, it worked on him, it seemed like. What are the keys to getting the first part of the blitz right and then rotating behind?
Well, first off, you got to communicate. Whoever is the guy coming to help on the blitz, you got to make sure that you let them know where the screen is coming, so we don't give up a reject or anything like that. And then, obviously, in the blitz, not allowing him to reject, and just get out of it easily. And I think we did a really good job, whoever was on them, whoever was coming to blitz, and then making great rotations out of it.
I think you were 0 for 4 in the first half, and then you end up 4 for 5, 3 threes in the second half, some free throws. Where did you find your rhythm to get it going late?
Hit my first shot finally, then got a couple free throws, seen the ball go in some more, and the teammates trusted me to knock down some more shots when I was open and to shoot it with confidence, and that was it. So it was good to see those couple shots first go in, first one, and then those free throws kind of helped.
In the fourth, you hit a 3 from either wing. The second one was in front of the Denver bench. Looks like you turned and had. What was the message that you gave to the?
They was, how it is, basketball. Somebody shoot, everybody on the bench is screaming, no, it's off, all that. And I just told them I've been shooting lately, so we'll see. And that was it.